What is up, guys? Today's video is pretty much all about the white Miata. We have a few things we're gonna do today, but the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to Chicago Auto Pros, best in the business. We're gonna go get this thing tinted. If you remember, this thing was tinted a little bit. Basically, the side windows came tinted whenever I first bought it, and it was some super crappy tint. It was starting to go. Essentially, I took it all off because I thought I was gonna try and do it myself. Ended up trying to do it myself. It's a lot harder than you thought. Just go to professionals. Honestly, it's so much more worth it. I put some Walmart 2.5% on the back just because people's headlights in the back is so annoying. Bunch of bubbles in it. Trying to shrink that crappy ass film was really hard. So again, we're gonna go to Chicago Auto Pros, get this thing taken care of. We're gonna get 5% all the way around except for the windshield. That's pretty much what I did on the Jeep and the Escalade. That's what works best for me. I would tint the front, but I can't justify it in a Stan's car where I really need to be watching out for ground debris and you know, potholes and stuff like that. So we're gonna keep the front nice and clear. We have the banner, which will keep it nice and dark in there, but pretty much we're gonna get this thing sorted, and then we're gonna go ahead and slam this thing on the old coilovers from the Lamborghini. Alright, so we made it to Chicago Auto Pros. We're going to wait a little bit, and then we're going to bring this inside, get it tinted up with 5% all the way around, except for the windshield like I talked about earlier. As you can see, with the lineup of the cars out here, everything is pretty much goals, and then there's my car. This thing will be cool right now, not so much, but it'll get there. Trust me, guys, it'll be up to par with some of these cars eventually. We're pretty much just going to wait until they have availability in the shop, bring it in there, and get this thing tinted up.
I can't see shit.
We just got back from Chicago Auto Pros. The tint looks so damn good. Anyways, now that we have that over with, we're gonna slam this thing on the old coilovers from the Lamborghini. We're gonna bring this thing in. I'm not 100% sure that we're gonna go max low right now, but we're definitely gonna try and get this thing a little bit lower, ready for our camber parts, and then from there, our heritage wheels. Oh no. Alright, since you last seen it, we lowered the front a little bit. What I did was I basically had the coilovers so they are at their maximum low without adjusting the preload. The rears were a couple inches lower than the front, so I went ahead, lowered the front to match the rear, and now this thing is pretty damn low. We got about an inch of tuck in the front and probably a little bit more in the rear. This thing is sitting really nice right now. It's not super slammed, but it's definitely pretty low. I drove it a little bit whenever it was the other way, and basically it rubs a little bit in the rear. Whatever, it doesn't really matter, especially for this setup, who cares? But we might have to do something for a stiffer setup later down the line once we get our wheels and tires, once we get our wheels set up all on here and we figure out the camber and all that kind of stuff, but that's for another day. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead, take this thing for a test drive. We're gonna see how it rides, see if this is good, and if this is good, this is how we're leaving it for now.
Alright, definitely bump around the ground.